Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to make some brownies. We need a few basic things and some ingredients which I'm going to tell you about. An oven, an apron if you want one, and a baseball cap to cover up your greasy 4-day unwashed quarantine hair. Okay, step 1, turn your oven on.
What ingredients you need? Chocolate, whatever you've got lying around. Butter, a little bit of salt, caster sugar, cocoa powder, vanilla extract, self-raising flour, some scales, a big bowl and a spoon.
Step 2, measure out your chocolate and butter to melt.
Under the sun. Yes, I'll come back to you. No, I wanna.
See a can of water with just a tiny bit of water in, and then you put like a glass bowl on top so that it's not touching the water. And then you chuck in your butter, and your chocolate, and what's that?
Step 3, while that's melting, weigh out the rest of your ingredients.
Under the sun.
Step 4, you want to put your sugar, your vanilla extract and your salt, just a little pinch, all in the chocolate bowl.
Press my face to the back.
Step 5, add 2 eggs to your chocolate and sugar mixture.
Hold on the sun.
Step 6, get a sieve, flour and cocoa powder and sieve it in. Step 7, get your tray you're going to use and some butter or some baking paper, and we're going to line it with grease.
Hold on the sun.
Step 8, you want to add your brownie mix, which looks gorgeous, to your pan to bake. I think I'm going to need an assistant to hold the bowl, so give me a sec. Arthur, I need your help.
Hold on the sun.
That's good. Step 9, put it in the oven.
"35 minutes later."
And finally, enjoy it while it's warm, because it is delicious. Oh.
In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord,
high and exalted, seated on a
And the
throne.
train of his robe filled the temple.
Above him were seraphim, each with 6 wings. With 2 wings they covered their faces, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they were flying. Fly, fly! And they were calling to one another, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. The whole earth is full of his glory. At the sound of their voices, the doorposts and thresholds shook, and the temple was filled with smoke. Woe to me, I cried. I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips. And I live among a people of unclean lips. And my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty. Then one of the seraphim flew to me with a live coal in his hand,
Which he had taken with tongs from the altar.
With it he touched my mouth and said, See, this has touched your lips. Your guilt is taken away and your sin atoned for.
Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?
And I said, Here I am, send me. Here I am, send me. There's nothing, sorry, song by Delirious, Christian band.
He said, Go and tell this people, be ever hearing, but never understanding. Be ever seeing, but never perceiving. Make the heart of this people calloused. Make their ears dull, and close their eyes. Otherwise they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts, and turn and be healed.
Then I said, For how long, Lord?
And he answered, Until the cities lie ruined and without inhabitant, until the houses are left deserted, and the fields ruined and ravaged, until the Lord has sent everyone far away, and the land is utterly forsaken. And though a tenth remains in the land, it will again be laid to waste. But as the terebinth and oak leave stumps when they are cut down, so the holy seed will be the stump in the land.
The throne, the finest chair built for the king. And the king has a question for you. Whom shall I send? It's one thing to learn about the awesomeness and the greatness of God, because there's an awful lot of it. But there's really no use in knowing about that if you're not going to do anything about it. Being a Christian doesn't mean you idly sit and learn about God and that's that. There's action to take as well. Our job is to be sent out to go and do God's work and spread his gospel. How does Isaiah react when God asks who he can send? Here am I, send me. If God was here right now, sat on his throne, asking, who can I send? Would your response be the same? Being stuck at home right now means that it can be a really easy way to just cop out and use that as an excuse not to go out and do God's work. But if the king was to ask you how you've been representing him during this time of lockdown, are you going to use staying at home as an excuse? God can do all things, lockdown or no lockdown, but he's calling people to serve him. So what's your response? Are you willing to sit at the foot of the throne and say, here I am, send me? Ask yourself the question, if there was a throne in your life right now, what would be sitting on it? Is it God or is it something else? Because I think we both know who should be there giving out the instructions.